Myself is Supriya Chaudhary and I am from Worli CFS English Municipal Secondary School that you are seeing on the screen, standard 9th. Today I am going to start with political science. Yesterday we have started chapter number 6, international problems. We have seen the little bit part of this lesson. Today I am going to continue the same chapter, that is the international problems. Before starting or before continuing the next part, first we will revise whatever we have studied yesterday. In the last chapter, we studied the sovereign states in the international system, India's foreign policy, and India's defense system. We also studied the objectives of the United Nations. In this chapter, we are going to study some important international problems. Some problems are not restricted to any one country. They affect many countries and eventually all the countries of the world. These problems, they affect the whole world, are called the international problems. Any one problem or any problems which are faced by the nation, they are called as a national problems, but the problems faced by the whole world is called, or the problems faced by the entire world are called as the international problems. In order to solve these international problems, join efforts means all nations cooperate with each other. In this chapter, we shall therefore study the problems related to human rights, environment, and terrorism. Even the questions of refugees are now assuming the global proportions. Hence, we shall consider these issues as well. First, we have studied the human rights. Now, what is the human rights? The concept of human rights has emerged from the concept of natural rights. Natural rights are those rights that we are endowed with because we are born as a human beings. So, human rights are those rights that are necessary for living as a human being and as a constituent of a society. Human rights include the right to life, right to food, right to clothing, right to shelter, right to education, and right to health. The human rights were first proclaimed during the American War of Independence in the year 1776 and the French Revolution in the year 1789. The realization that democratic government is necessary for upholding human rights led to the adoption of democracy by many European countries. The main responsibility of the state came to be understood to be the protection of the citizens' rights. Similarly, we have also studied the rise of the concept of human rights at international level and at the national level, means in the India. So first we will study the rise of the concept of human rights in international relations. Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted in the United Nations General Assembly by a majority vote on 10th December 1948. Declaration of the Rights of the Child was proclaimed on 20th November 1959. International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which is popularly called as ICCPR, and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, which is popularly called as ICESCR, were adopted in 1966. The above two covenants are a part of international law and all the member nations are bound to observe them. The issues related to the violation of a social nation in South Africa and freedom to colonies were raised in the General Assembly. The concept of human rights was broadened by the issues of global nature like contagious diseases, that is the communicable diseases, the threat to the environment, terrorism, and the natural disasters. So this is all about the rise of the concept of human rights at the international level. Now we will see the status of human rights in India. The human rights find a place as the fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution. So human rights are known as the fundamental rights in India. There are six fundamental rights that we all know. For example, first one, right to liberty. Second, right to equality. Third, right to accept any religion. Fourth, right against exploitation. Fifth, right to education or the cultural rights. And sixth, right to constitutional remedies. So all these are six fundamental rights which are having the important place in the Indian Constitution, and they are known as the human rights in India. The responsibility of the protection of the weaker sections, women and minorities has been given to the government. Human Rights Protection Act was also enacted in the year 1993. As per this law, National Human Rights Commission and the state human rights commissions were also established. After also studied about the environment, so to secure environment and the preservation of the environment is also one type of human right, and it's a responsibility of each and every citizen of the country. In the present times, the concept of human rights has become broader, and it is increasingly being accepted that a secure environment is an important human right. At the international level, the awareness and the need of saving the environment was expressed in 1970. It was pointed out by the activists that the following make the environment unsafe, like large-scale industrialization, increasing need for energy, chemical fertilizers and the pesticides, sound pollution by vehicles, radiation from the nuclear reactors, oil leakages or the leakages of the chemical gases. So these activists celebrated the first Earth Day on started in 1990. The interdependence among the nations increased. Any threat to the environment caused by pollution or by leakage of oil or gas does not remain restricted to one nation. It becomes necessary for all the nations to act together and cooperate to deal with these effects. There are some visible effects of the degradation of the environment. Now we'll see the visible effects of the degradation of the environment. First one, extinction of species of plants and animals. Second, decrease in the fertility of the soil. Third, water shortage. Fourth, fluctuation in the proportion of rainfall. Sixth, global warming. Seventh, drying up of rivers and lakes. Eighth, pollution of rivers and seas. Eighth, incidence of newer diseases. Ninth, acid rain. And tenth, thinning of the ozone layer. So up to this, we have studied yesterday. Now let's see the next part of this chapter for the conservation and the protection of the environment. Some conferences were held like Stockholm Conference, Rio de Janeiro Conference, Kyoto Conference, and the Paris Conference. We'll see one by one. So first we'll start from the Stockholm to Paris Conference. In order to discuss the immediate and long-term problems related to the environment and to find the solutions on them, a United Nations Conference on Human Environment was called at Stockholm from 5th to 16th of June 1972. In this conference, it was stressed that it is the responsibility of all the nations to cooperate to overcome the pollution. The developing nations feel that the developed nations are more responsible for the decline of the environment and they should take the responsibility for stopping the decline. Even today, the developing countries take the same position. Another feature of this conference was that the non-governmental organizations, that is the NGOs, working in the field of environmental protection were also present. The issue of the protection of the common global wealth was raised. A consensus emerged that it was the responsibility of all the nations to protect these resources. It was after this conference that the United Nations created the United Nations Program, Environmental Program, that is the UNEP. Many environmental treaties about the environment were signed after this conference. Several rules were made about the protection of the environment, and all the countries, those who are the member nations of the United Nations, they have to follow all the rules and regulations related to the protection of the environment. Environmental movements also started on a large scale at national level as well as at the international level. Non-governmental organizations, that is the NGOs, also assumed the bigger role in the decision-making process at international conferences regarding the environment. The next stage was the environmental conference at Rio de Janeiro, which is popularly called as Rio, in 1992. In this conference, the idea of sustainable development was stressed. Different treaties regarding the biodiversity, climate change due to the greenhouse gases, protection of forest, etc. were signed. So greenhouse gases are very harmful for the environment because greenhouse gases contain the methane, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide, ozone O3, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, like this. So greenhouse gases are harmful for the biodiversity and for the environment. After the Rio de Janeiro conference, the next conference was held, and that is the Kyoto conference. In 1997, the conference at Kyoto laid down the protocol for the developed countries for preventing the climate change. These were applicable for 15 years. After this conference on a climate change was held at Paris in November 2015. An appeal was made in this conference that all the nations should make concerted efforts to stop the climate change and the global warming, and that the developed countries should help the developing countries to acquire the technology to achieve these goals. So in this, we have also studied about the Paris conference. Now the next part that we are going to study, that is the terrorism. Terrorism is the biggest international problem that is faced by the entire world, and today also the world is facing this problem of terrorism. This is a major problem of our times. Several countries in the world are facing this problem. No nation is capable of countering terrorism entirely on its own. Hence, terrorism is considered to be a global problem. Now, what is a terrorism? Terrorism is spreading fear and terror in a society by using or threatening to use violence against the common and innocent people for achieving political goals. Terrorism is organized and planned violence. Terrorism has made a deep and long-term impact on international politics. In the last 2 decades, terrorist conflict appears to have intensified in different countries. Terrorist conflict is different from the traditional war. Actually, traditional war is a conflict between two or more sovereign states. In such wars, the geographical boundaries between the nations acquire importance, that is, the national security is connected with the geographical boundaries. On the other hand, in the case of terrorism, terrorist groups can cause the violence in any part of the world from anywhere in the world. The main aim of the terrorist attack is not to endanger the geographical boundaries, but to challenge the regime in a country or refuse to acknowledge the existence of the state. This means that due to increasing terrorism, the internal security of a country is threatened in addition to its external security. In order to curb terrorism, it is imperative that the security mechanisms of different nations should work in a concerned manner. The next point that we are going to study, that is the problems of the refugees. People who have to leave their motherland against their wishes or are forced to go to other nations seeking refuge or for security are called as refugees. People become due to torture or persecution for belonging to a particular race or religion due to war or a disaster, etc. In such a situation, people are forced to leave their own country and seek shelter in another country. Before the Second World War, the Jews were tortured in Germany. Their citizenship and property was confiscated. Due to this, the Jews became refugees. Due to this, the Jews became refugees. In 1971, the people in East Pakistan turned refugees and came to India seeking refuge or security due to political and religious persecution. In the last few years, due to the war-like situation in Iraq and Syria, a lot of people are leaving Syria as a refugees. We can cite many such examples of refugees. When people of any country are forced to leave their own country as a refugees, they have to face many problems. The most important is to decide where to go and will that nation give us shelter? These are the questions that they face. Secondly, they have to also take along with them other members of their family. It involves a lot of physical and emotional stress. Apart from this, there are problems caused by the natural elements like heat, rain, storms, as well as the shortage of food, sickness, and enemy in pursuit, etc. In this process, many people lose their lives. See here, I have also given the images of heat, rain, storm, shortage of food, and sickness. They have to face these problems if they are a refugees. Once the refugees reach a safe place, they have new challenges. They need to find work, a place to live, and another problems of a day-to-day nature. If the language and culture in the other nations are different, then adjusting to that poses difficulties. There is no assurance that the people in the nation which gives shelter to the refugees will accept them. On the contrary, as the number of refugees increases, the strain on the economy of the host nation also increases. There are some problems which are faced by the refugees, and these problems may emerge, like a shortage of essential goods is created, there may be increase in inflation, there may be increase in crime, the locals may lose their jobs, a problem of law and order may crop up. Many such problems may emerge. Due to these problems, many nations are not ready to give shelter to refugees and to resettle them. In 1951, some provisions were made regarding the questions of refugees at the international level. One such a provision was that the refugees will not be forcefully sent back to their country against their wishes. Similarly, an office of the High Commissioner of the United Nations, which is popularly called as UNHCR, has been established to solve their problems. If all the nations safeguarded and fostered human rights, exploitation and violence would reduce. All people will be able to achieve their own development safely and securely. Human rights can be more effectively implemented if the environment is safeguarded and if terrorism is completely wiped out. No group of people will have to become refugees. For this, all nations have to come together, cooperate with each other, take a concrete action, and bring about the actual change. So here we have finished this chapter. Now we'll see the evaluation. Question number 1. Choose the right option and rewrite this sentence. First one, Human Rights Protection Act was enacted by the Union Parliament in the year dash. Options are 1950, B 1964, C 1981, D 1993. Answer will be D 1993. So, Human Rights Protection Act was enacted by the Union Parliament in the year 1993. Second, the Dash Conference took place from 5th to 16th of June 1972. Options are A. Stockholm, B. Rio de Janeiro, C. Porto, D. Paris. Answer will be A. Stockholm. Then the Stockholm Conference took place from 5th to 16th June 1972. Third one, a conference on climate change was held at Dash in 2015. Options are A. Stockholm, B. Rio de Janeiro, C. Kyoto, D. Paris. Answer will be D. Paris. A conference on climate change was held at Paris in 2015. Question number 2. Give a geographical description of the following. United Nations Conferences on Environment. 1972, Stockholm Conference was held. 1992, Rio de Janeiro Conference was held. 1997, Kyoto Conference was held. 2015, Paris Conference was held. Question. Write the outcome of the Stockholm Conference. Will be the outcome of the Stockholm Conference was as follows. First point, United Nations Environmental Program, that is UNEP, was launched. Second point, a number of international treaties on environment protection were signed. Third point, environmental movements emerged in large number at the national and international level, whereby the non-governmental organizations, that is NGOs, assumed a bigger role in the decision-making process at future international conferences on environment. This will be the answer of the first question. Second, what do you know about the Rio de Janeiro? Answer will be first point. The United Nations Conference on the Environment took place at Rio de Janeiro in 1992. Second point, the concept of sustainable development was stressed upon at this conference. Third point, a number of treaties regarding biodiversity, climate change due to greenhouse effect or the gases, and the protection of forest were signed. This will be the answer of the second question. Third question, write about the Kyoto Conference. Answer will be first point, the International Conference on Environment took place at Kyoto in 1997. Second point, Kyoto Conference laid down the protocols for the developed countries for preventing climate change. Third point, these protocols were applicable for 15 years. This will be the answer of third question. Fourth question, write about the Paris Conference 2015. Answer will be first point, the United Nations Conference on Climate Change took place at Paris in November 2015. Second point, an appeal was made and it was resolved that all the nations should make concerned efforts to stop climatic change and global warming. Third point, it was also decided that the developed countries should help the developing countries to acquire the technology to achieve these goals? This will be the answer of Paris Conference 2015. Fifth question, what are the difficulties faced by the refugees after reaching a safe place? Answer will be first point. After arriving in a different country, the refugees have to face new challenges. Second point, they need to find work, place to live, and other day-to-day problems. Third point, when the language and the culture in the new country is different from their own language and culture, adjusting with the new environmental becomes difficult. Fourth point, the question of the acceptability by the people in the nation that gave them shelter is most difficult. This will be the answer of the problems or the difficulties faced by the refugees after reaching the safe place. Sixth question, what are the steps taken to solve the problems of the refugees? Answer will be first point, at the initiative taken by the United Nations, some provisions were made at the international level in 1951. Second point, it was decided that the refugees will not be forcefully sent back to their country against their wishes. Third point, Office of the High Commissioner of the United Nations was established to solve their problems. This will be the answer of the sixth question. Now one more question we'll see about the refugees. What ideal solution you would suggest to solve the problem of refugees? For this question, you can write answer like first point, the ideal solution to the problem of refugees is that all nations should safeguard and foster the human rights. Second point, efforts should be made to prevent exploitation and violence. Third point, this will ensure that all people will be able to achieve their own development, safety, and securely. No group of people will have to become refugees. Following concepts. First question, terrorism. First point, terrorism is spreading fear and terror in a society by using or threatening to use violence against the common and innocent people for achieving the political goals. Second point, terrorism is an organized and planned violence. Third point, it is a global phenomenon now. This will be the answer of terrorism. Second point, refugees. Answer will be first point, people who have to leave their motherland against their wishes or are forced to go to other nations seeking refuge or for security are called the refugees. For example, the Jews in Germany were persecuted and were forced to leave Germany before the Second World War. This will be the answer of refugees. Third question, international problem. Answer will be first point. Some problems like terrorism are not restricted to any one country. They affect many countries and eventually all the countries of the world. Second point, these problems that affect the whole world are called international problems. Third point, in order to solve these international problems, all nations need to make concerted efforts. This will be the answer of the third question, international problems. Question number 5, Explain with reasons whether the following statements are true or false. This question can be asked for 2 marks, 1 mark for whether the statement is true or false, and another 1 mark is for reason. First question, many nations are willing to give shelter to the refugees. Answer will be, the above statement is false. Reason, first one, rehabilitation of refugees puts strain on the economy of the host country. Second point, shortage of essential commodities may lead to increase in inflation. Third point, there may be an increase in crime leading to law and order problems. Fourth point, many locals may lose their jobs, creating resentment against the government. Therefore, many nations are not willing to give shelter to the refugees. Second question, terrorism is both a national as well as an international problem. Answer will be, the above statement is true. Reasons, first point, the terrorism of the Naxalites and in Northeast India are the national problems. Second point, however, terrorism has now acquired international dimension and become a global problem. Third point, a concerted action by all the countries in the world against terrorism is advocated. Thus, terrorism is both a national problem as well as an international problem. So here we have seen the statements, whether they are true or false. We'll see one more question for answer in detail. Write about the conference. Answer will be, first point, United Nations Conference on Human Environment took place at Stockholm from 5th to 16th June 1972. Second point, the participants pointed out that it is the responsibility of all the nations to cooperate to overcome pollution. Third point, however, the representation of the developing nations maintained that since the developed nations are more responsible for the decline of the environment, they have to shoulder the responsibilities to stop decline. Fourth point, the United Nations created the United Nations Environmental Program, that is UNEP, after the deliberations of the Stockholm Conference. This will be the answer of the Stockholm Conference. Now one more question we'll see, that is, what are the problems faced by the refugees? Answer will be, first point, the first and the foremost problem faced by the refugees is to take decision about leaving their country and seek shelter in another country. Second point, after having decided to leave the country, they have to decide where to go. That is, to seek asylum in which country and which would provide them shelter. Third point, an individual by himself does not like to take refuge, but takes along with him the members of his family. This causes a lot of physical and environmental stress. Fourth point, besides these, they have to face the problems caused by nature, such as heat, rain, and storm. Fifth point, they also undergo the problems of sickness, starvation caused by shortage of food and the enemy pursuit. Many people lose their lives in this process. Sixth point, once they reach a safe place, they need to find work, a place to live, and other day-to-day problems. Seventh point, the language and culture of the other nations possesses many difficulties. Eighth point, besides, there is no assurance that the other nation will give shelter. In this way, we have completed the chapter number 6, International Problems. Thank you.